This is a lightsaber.
From its mesmerizing glow to its iconic array of sound effects brilliantly created by Oscar-winning sound designer Ben Bird, the lightsaber has transcended Star Wars to become an indelible part of our culture. These are the top 10 lightsabers in terms of design, lore, and all-around cool factor. Coming in at number 10, we've got Ahsoka Tano's two white lightsabers. From a young age, she favored the dual-wielding fighting style, originally using two green sabers. When Ahsoka was wrongfully accused of sedition and murder in Season 5 of the Clone Wars, those sabers were confiscated and she left the Jedi Order. Later, she temporarily rejoined the war effort, and Anakin regifted those sabers back to her modified with blue crystals, but she didn't have them long.
Execute Order 66.
Because after the Jedi fell to Order 66, Ahsoka left those sabers near some wreckage, faking her own death. When we catch up with her many years later, she now wields those two beautiful yet imposing white sabers. The Kyber crystals for them were acquired when she defeated the sixth brother of the Sith Inquisitors, as seen in Episode 6 of Tales of the Jedi. Originally the red color that results from a Sith, or other Darkside user, bleeding a Kyber crystal, they turned white when Ahsoka purified them. At number 9, we've got Count Dooku's curved saber, which really embodies the idea of an elegant weapon.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized day.
Even when it was being used as a tool of the dark side. He constructed the saber upon passing the Jedi trials, and it really looks good both with a blue and red blade. It is a fittingly beautiful weapon for such a skilled swordsman, who makes easy work of both Obi-Wan and Anakin, before holding his own against Master Yoda in Attack of the Clones.
What will you have, my old Padawan?
Sadly, he eventually meets his match when facing a more seasoned Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, who rudely disarms him of his saber, before even more rudely using it to relieve Dooku of...
Do it.
his head. The circular sabers used by the Sith Inquisitors clock in at number 8. Certainly on some level their behind-the-scenes origin comes from an upping the ante factor, following the trajectory of a single blade to Darth Maul's double blade, now to a double blade that can spin around and even lift a person off the ground. Their design had the potential to be goofy, with the Mary Poppins-esque way the Inquisitors float around, but they work surprisingly well. Even their transition to live action, which could have been clunky, made for some excellent moments in both the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Disney Plus series. All in all, an excellent evolution of the weapon. Next up at number 7 is Rey's yellow lightsaber. After wielding the Anakin-Luke saber for the bulk of the sequel trilogy, Rey finally buried the old one in the sands of Tatooine after constructing her own. This is a symbolic and necessary step for Rey to become her own Jedi, and chart not only her own path forward but that of a new Jedi Order. It is also fitting that she uses parts of her old staff in its construction, as a nod to her humble beginnings as a scavenger on Jakku, and perhaps as a reminder that those who are special can sometimes be found in the most unlikely of places. As much as we've probably seen enough of it, no lightsaber list would be complete without Anakin's Revenge of the Sith lightsaber, which comes in at number 6. This is the one that started it all. Constructed by Star Wars set decorator Roger Christian from the parts of an old antique camera. It's one of many examples of the resourcefulness of that original crew who created an epic space opera on a shoestring budget. Anakin's saber really got around. He wielded it throughout Episode 3, before Obi-Wan picked it up next to his barbecued body, only to store it in a box for a couple of decades before gifting it to Luke, maybe lying a bit about why.
Your father wanted you to have this when you were old enough.
Luke wielded the saber clumsily, then more skillfully, for a while, before misplacing it, along with his hand, thanks to dear old Dad. It disappears for a long while. Early drafts of The Force Awakens had a creepy opening with the lightsaber floating through space attached to Luke's severed hand. It eventually makes its way into another box, this one owned by Maz Kanata, from within which it calls out to Rey, who defeats Kylo Ren with it. Which, as an aside, makes absolute logical sense, by the way, considering Rey is naturally very powerful with the Force, has trained extensively with her staff, and Kylo Ren was severely wounded by a blast from Chewie's bowcaster. Anyway, she tries to return it to Luke, who, probably like you, is sick of it and throws it away. Rey gets it back, it gets blown up, somehow repaired off camera, used to ultimately defeat the Emperor maybe once and for all, possibly, probably, perhaps, before being put in its final resting place in the sands of Tatooine, at least for now. Things in Star Wars don't tend to stay buried. Number 5 on our list is the Darksaber. This weapon has a lot going for it, in that it both looks cool and has a great, rich history. Built by Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian to become a member of the Jedi Order, after Tar Vizsla's death, the Darksaber became an important symbol in Mandalorian culture, as its wielder held a claim to the throne of Mandalore, until the saber's ultimate destruction during Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan's duel. Beyond its unique appearance, the Darksaber also had mysterious properties. Heavy for a saber, it would grow even heavier if its wielder lacked confidence.
It gets heavier with each move.
Kanan Jarrus believed the Darksaber had its own energy that was affected by the emotions of the person who swung it, in particular their inner turmoil, adding to its weight. In terms of pure cool factor, it doesn't get any better than number 4, which is always a fan favorite, Mace Windu's lightsaber. With its gleaming gold hilt and purple blade, it was a fitting weapon for a Jedi Master with Mace's elevated status in the Order. There have been numerous in-universe explanations why his blade was purple, including a legend story from a 2002 comic book about him being gifted the crystal by the people of a certain planet after he healed one of their kind with the Force. But the truth is, this is just an example of an off-screen challenge or request dictating an on-screen choice. In this case, it was Samuel L. Jackson wanting a way to spot himself easily in wide battle shots.
Good guys are green and blue, bad guys are red. That's just the way it works.
No purple left?
You might get purple.
Who knows? With his fate ambiguous, well, by Star Wars standards, maybe we'll see Master Windu wield that saber again. At number 3 is Kylo Ren's crossguard lightsaber. Explained to be exhaust ports, necessary because of the damaged, unstable red kyber crystal inside, the crossguard design was really embraced by fans, and has now become a common design, wielded at times by Ezra Bridger in Rebels, Cal Kestis in the Jedi Fallen Order games, and all throughout the High Republic series of books and comics. What makes Kylo Ren's weapon particularly interesting and unique is how it contrasts the more elegant weapons of the likes of Mace Windu and Count Dooku. Kylo's saber looks patchwork and improvised, its blade crackling erratically as if the whole thing is unstable and could explode at any moment. It perfectly embodies the confusion and disarray within Kylo, also capable of exploding at any time, and whose inner turmoil always keeps the audience guessing what side of the conflict his heart is truly with. Just missing out at the top spot is Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber from The Phantom Menace. Mind-blowing to audiences at the time, it's revealed in the movie as executed with perfection. After the first time we see Maul fight Qui-Gon on Tatooine, he only uses one half of his saber. The dramatic ignition of the second blade, just before their epic rematch, combined with John Williams in absolute God mode with Duel of the Fates, creates one of the most chill-inducing moments in the saga. And as if that intro wasn't enough, what happens next is only the gold standard of lightsaber duels, showcasing a more complex style of choreography and Darth Maul actor Ray Park's incredible martial arts skills. The double-bladed lightsaber became an instant classic and laid the groundwork for all future unique and inventive lightsabers. And the number 1 lightsaber in the Star Wars saga belongs to Luke. Not the one we already mentioned, but the green one he constructed himself that made its first appearance in Return of the Jedi. Its off-screen history is interesting. It was originally intended to be blue, as seen here in the original teaser trailer for the movie, but its color was changed to green, so it would stand out better against Tatooine's blue sky. And while maybe not as flashy as Maul's double blade, or as unique as the shape and inverted colors of the Darksaber, no lightsaber has captured the wonder of children and adults alike as Luke's green lightsaber. From the first moment, an exuberant Luke ignited it over the Sarlacc pit, delighting countless equally exuberant fans in 1983. To its epic reveal during Luke's appearance on the Mandalorian episode The Rescue, there probably isn't another lightsaber that has generated the same level of excitement. And that's what Star Wars is all about, isn't it? Whether it be in a crowded theater or in the privacy of your own home. It's about that feeling of childlike awe we get when we escape for a few hours to that galaxy far, far away. So is your favorite lightsaber on this list?
This is the way.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video,
Make it so.
be sure to share, like, and subscribe for more insightful analysis and positive vibes. Coming to you from the final frontier and a galaxy far, far away. Live long, and may the Force be with you.